first run of U-Boat. Definitely seems like it ironed out some bugs starting a fresh save. Faces on the crew, definitely a little bit to adjust to. I gotta shut that radio off. That's funny. There we go. Shallow area, no thank you. No thank you. Guess I should map out a little more of a course. We gotta get out of this hellacious mess. take us a while to even get there. Oh boy. See it yet. I know it's 43. He's heading north as well. It's probably pretty slim chance all the way over here that it's hostile. I guess we shall see. Sub? I think it is. Hey Jet, how's it going, sir? Yes, that is another sub. German. Flipping along. We started a new save, so I found out, I think that I don't want to say we broke the last game with the UBE mod, but I notice like less issues already with starting a fresh save. Like yesterday I had all that frustration with not understanding why I couldn't get the officers on the deck gun. Same mods are equipped. I can put him right on the deck gun right from here. And the way I think I can tell is, like, say we go into his skills here. Just a sec. The UBE mod plugs in like additional things, namely right here, weapons operator, and it did for the captain as well. And those weren't on my previous save file, so I think me having done it like mid, file kind of goofed up just enough to make it like kind of messed up, where I should have been able to just toss him on there like we knew, but I couldn't get it to work. So little stuff like that I think is already going to make it a little bit less stressful. It's also pretty cool. We'll have to go back at some point. I'll save and like reload the menu. If you've seen it, I like that the UBE mod allows you to select from like way, there were so many different times and U-boats to start out on, and little bits of like story attached to them, kind of similar to how you pick when to start your campaign, but there's just, instead of like 4 or 5, there's like 12 now. It's pretty cool. So we picked just one of the earlier ones as well, so it gives me a chance to learn without all the advanced stuff right away. And this time we are starting out of Port of Kiel. So we are way out here. We gotta find our way all the way around through the channel. We got a ways to go. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe something with the way I installed the mod. I don't know. Maybe I goofed my files up somehow. But it seems to be working now is all that matters. Yeah, I don't know. Somehow I got it to work though, because I can, you know, send those guys to the deck gun now. So hard to say. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Only exception is if that officer comes with a skill like cooking. Hmm. Yeah, I've got a couple guys that have that on them as well, which I'm never a huge fan of for me personally, but whatever, I guess that's random, right? Yeah, I'm in the U-Boat Discord. I read through some of their UBE stuff today. I didn't have a lot of time IRL to go through as much as I wanted to, but I read through some just to see like what issues people had, questions, etc. A little bit. It was mostly, unfortunately, most of what I sifted through was like people that had issues installing the mod and various things like that. Didn't think we had darker nights on, but holy lord. Oh, I suppose I'm going through the channel, even though I'm not a huge fan of all that shallow water and the limited space. There's no way it'd take me a month and a half to go around. I think we can chat on the U-Boat Discord if you feel so inclined. Yeah, I could hop on there. There's a few things I want to check myself. That's what's going to suck right now, is having limited officers again, but we only had, what, one extra? It's not a huge difference. Oh boy. Which way are they headed? 67, 7 knots. Oops. Not even going to really worry about it at this point, to be honest. I want to get somewhat close to the patrol area. Don't expect there will be as much action in this, with nothing being hostile yet, quite yet. So this puts us at the very tail end of August. It's, I think, even earlier than the start of the normal campaign. Boy, I really did not think I turned on Dark Nights. That feels incredibly dark, though. Didn't have any GPU driver updates or anything in the last couple of days. General chat. Check her out here 1 second. Somewhat close to that patrol area. It was fun chasing all that stuff around yesterday, but it was distracting me too much with having the issues with being able to assign officers to that. So I'm kind of glad it's giving the option now after the reset. I still think mine had something to do with it had to be the way I installed it and over a previous save file. Pause. I don't think we can engage them quite yet without declaration of war or whatever. is an interesting ship name. Inversor? Whatever the hell that is. I think at this point, these early of a patrol, it's probably just kind of appeasing the superiors to go patrol around, because you can't really determine whether or not somebody is going to cause you grief. That were behind us that we already passed. Appears to be. I think we loaded the tubes. No, only two. I must have stopped. Starting the new playthrough. You come on up. Let's get those loaded. Glad I checked that. Calm down just a tinge. Toasty won at IRL tonight. That is horrible. It has to be Darker Nights was set on by kind of mistake. I did not intend for that. It was horrible. Can't see Jack flipping squat. Yikes. Kind of makes me want to start this over, to be honest. I'm not going to be able to see anything. Front of the U-boat, barely. On stream you can't. It looks black as night. Ugh. Let's do this. Let's go. You can change on the fly. I know some of the settings you can. I'm not so sure. We'll back up here and take a look. I swore I didn't toggle that on. Maybe I missed it. I was probably too worried about that mod and if it was going to change. Gameplay, maybe? Darker Nights, it is checked. Ooh. Let's try it out and see. That would be fantastic. Good to know. Yeah, that's too much. God, why the hell would you want to play on that? You wouldn't be able to see anything. Admittedly, I mean, I'm sure they had to go through that, but yeah. No, I can see on my other monitor when I look at the stream output when you're trying to see something like that. Oh my God, it's literally like opaque. Like there's no way you guys can see it. Definitely not what to have on in that case. I guess if you're really trying to make it like as difficult as possible for your play. Let's see. It's significantly better. It's still pretty dark for you guys, though. Take it. Take it, take it, take it. We're getting there. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty dull patrol with nothing really going on until they actually declare war or whatever. This is literally going to be me just putzing around, I guess, so to speak. It's raining, raining, raining. There, man, how are we burning through that? That feels like it's changed. There's a lot of flipping food that's gone already. Leave it, keep it minimal for now. They just won't get their little morale buff from varied dishes, I guess. Food. Good Lord. I think those are like some of the little nuances you kind of have to pay attention to with the mods and the difference between base game and that. Like that's the little stuff you don't really know till you get in there and try. It's finally not raining. That off. Let's go ahead and grab you. Now, because I backed out of that save, he didn't even finish the one I was on. Yikes. Stop here and give him a minute to make sure this gets done. My pet peeve, stuck walking in place. Come on. Load the other one, pal. guys are having a good evening today, afternoon, whatever time it might be for you. Nice weather here today, IRL, a little warm. Let's... something in my eye, driving me nuts. Pitfalls of working outside. Alright, slow her down just a tad. I guess we'll have a listen real quick just to start, and then things might chill down a tad since I'm not worried about going 100 miles away. That was definitely a jaunt. Shouldn't have to worry about water depth here, I'm sure. Should be deeper than we're on the eastern side, I believe. I would guess. Yeah. Kind of test out some of the basic settings here with these new schedule and crew assignments. Make sure everybody's kind of getting the stuff fairly quickly. Want to kind of test the waters with that. Get a little bit of water in there. It's coming up the floor. Like I said, I don't know that until they give us that declaration of war or whatever that I can do too much, really. Might be a lot of moving around in the little patrol box. Yeah, I definitely noticed a difference though with some of the stuff since restarting a new game with those mods. I think I definitely should not have done that in the middle of one. Stuff just seemed a little goofy. That guy's shirt. That is so bad. That's like some 80s. Even hell, late 90s, early 2000s, like something you'd wear out to, I don't even know what. That's bad. Hans Bruno. What a name. To sweep the floors too. Guess I could have traveled a little further inside patrol, but like I said, I don't know that it's going to make much of a difference. Loki, what's up? What is up? What is up? I do have the expanded crew stuff on, so I might have to order them around a bit more, which I think I'm going to be okay with as long as I can get it to work with like basic stuff being covered without constant attention. That food situation has me a little alarmed. That is blowing through the food. What is up with these shirts, guys? Like, what are we doing here? Turn this on, dry ourselves out here. Rough. 15 knot wind. Sheesh. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty long, dull patrol, I have a feeling. Did he polish off the tubes? Yeah. I think stern. I don't have one in storage. That was a misstep. Not that I hope to have to need it, but better to have and not need. He's going to sleep, so they'll get their little bit of recovery there. That's good. We had that issue at one point yesterday as well. Yeah, God, that's already dark enough. God forbid I had dark nights on. Might as well be looking at a black screen. More storms, 21 knot wind. Should probably slow down just a tad before we come flying up on somebody unintentionally. Still a train wreck. I have a feeling this patrol is going to be kind of like, hey, make sure your guys know what they're doing sort of deal. Like, you're not really shooting at anything yet. Already rolled into the 1st of September, but still, that is incredibly early. Plenty deep. Yup. A few other little things I've noticed with the UBE is it definitely improves like the randomization of the names, not only of the crew but like ships, pretty much anything like that. Like it, I mean, obviously you can go through and name everybody whatever the hell you want, but it definitely isn't that static list of like Weber and drawn a blank on everybody, Nod and Hoffman and etc. And like they're all over the place now. Names, Hammerstein. Oh, buddy, why you got to do this to me right in front of me? I hate it. Do I have... You do not have med kits and whatnot on you. I won't bother him now in the middle of hydrophone, but... I think that's why also I was a little short on some of the supplies. It starts you off with some of those settings adjusted. You're pretty broke pretty quickly. We have like no budget at the moment. Back to the surface. Jed, I haven't forgot about you over there. I know you were hoping I'm going to hop in Discord. I'm just trying to sift through some random thoughts while I do this and what I'd like to look for as well. I appreciate it though. Let's keep moving. He should kick on. Compressor here. It's still raining. Today, I guess I hate how this is like a really slim patrol zone. I'd rather have it a little more vertical. Not a fan of the old heavily horizontal lane. What the hell's that? Some interesting stuff added in. Battle of France has begun. Fuhrer is seeking to be in Paris before the month's end in order to expedite the invasion. Donitz wants any available U-boats within the region to assault French coastal ports and sink or disable any warships and merchant vessels before the French fleet. What do we got? September... Loki. Jet with the history summarization there. I wish I'm ashamed to say my knowledge is not down to like specific dates and whatnot. I can remember enough to know specific countries and this and that and a few odds and ends in between, but I definitely without having a point of reference couldn't point out most of it. Probably know a little more than the average Joe, but definitely not as much. Loki destroyed them. It's interrupted. Oops. Let's put you on radio and see if that makes a difference. I think the storm might fudge that up. What is the diesel too? Holy Lord. God, flank speed was a horrible mistake heading over here. Sheesh. Definitely did not take it lightly on the difficulty on this one. Love having a cushion. Yeah, weak signal or bad weather, it's not going to do jack squat. It's probably the radio transmission we need to for the yeah, September 1st. It would literally be right now. Love it. Can't get the radio transmission because of the storm. So, I guess what is our option? Just slowly cruise around and hope this clears up and I can pick it up? Like, what are the odds? Sure you can? I don't know, man. It's not letting me pick it up, even if I send into the radio. It just tells me, due to a weak signal, bad weather, or some other reason, currently received transmission has been interrupted. I think we're kind of effed until the storm clears. Is it going to work? No, I've got all the welcomes and everything that I didn't pay attention to. User error. Wasn't looking to have that disappear on me, but okay. Johan Steiger. Good to know. You guys with the little pro tips that I'm too ignorant to know. Although I just lost my little... We could probably go to the journal tab, I guess, and it might show what we received. There it is. Let's see if, just out of curiosity, if it'll let me read. Yeah, that was just a little generic thing that I paid no attention to myself. Great. Still have missions or messages? Maybe. No. I don't believe so. I mean, I'm seriously a little concerned with that fuel consumption already. Like, I know I went quite a ways, but that's like putting me down. We're about 60% already. I guess as long as I'm not abusing the hell out of it, but I definitely do not want to be wasting my time outside of the patrol zone. Last thing I want to do is run out of fuel. You guys told me yesterday, this early on, you can't call for a milk cow. I guess we're just gonna play it relatively chill and not go out of our way. 25 knot winds back, that's great. Love that. May be lost soon. 87% navigation. It should be alternating between captain and whatever we want to call him, first mate, chief boatswain, I think it is, but Right now we're at 87%, which isn't terrible, but they've been doing it. That's one thing I wanted to kind of keep an eye on here starting out, which is probably a good thing. This patrol won't be peppering me with ships and convoys and all the goodies around, because our last playthrough was actually like way less of a concern, because the captain, I think, had the ability. Yeah, he hopped on navigation right now. We're back up over 90 already. The rotation's pretty good on that, I think, as long. That's why your fuel is draining so fast. I mean, we have the additional sailors on navigation and engines. I can only add one to each right now, so I can't have the two guys really helping to cut down. We can go at the rate we're going. It's given us a little over 9,000 kilometers total use. We have to do 2K for this patrol, and we're coming up on roughly halfway. I don't think you can with this jet, I'm telling you, man. Like, if I do this and try to bump it up to 2, I tried this before I left port. There's some clicks on that, and it doesn't let you bump it up. And this just lets you, I think, assign, like, if you want a specific sailor on there. Well, how would I do it then? I don't know. If the UBE makes it that difficult, I'll just play the vanilla version, which at least that I know I can pretty much understand. Here's our message that I whiffed earlier. Yeah, historical, World War II data, yada yada. Convoy shipping air patrols. Recorded game. Yeah, that's fine. Nothing overly important there. Come to Discord and I will explain crew management. I mean, part of me wants to kind of figure it out myself a little bit, but what the hell? It just keeps sending us the same mission? Not mission, message. Yeesh, my brain. Hostile actions on the part of the Polish allies, England and France, are not to be expected. Hostile actions against them are prohibited until further notice. Noted. Navigation's fine, 95 and slowly dropping. Fuel's 60%. I mean, there's no other, without your navigation being plummeted. That's all you can do. I mean, I could technically leave somebody on navigation the whole time, but it's just going to tire them out. I'll toy with it a bit and see what I can figure out. The only thing I'm seeing that I don't really like at this point with the limitations currently on me is the fuel consumption, but other than that, I'm not seeing... Currently a drain of 9.8 liters per kilometer, so minus 3 liters a minute. The sailor we have with him on engines helps reduce that drain 10%. Remaining would be 8,000 kilometers on current usage. And then I know the old trick, I mean, I don't know if people still do that, was like, you know, switch off your diesel, fire up the electric, and then run on that a bit, and then switch back to diesel, which lets them charge, etc. But that's a lot of micromanaging back and forth, and then you always run the risk of like if a plane or something causes you to have to crash dive and you've used up, you know, half of your electric capacity, then you're kind of screwed, and you really better hope you can surface and charge, etc. I don't know, I'll look into it. I think we're heading into early morning here. Should probably check out that food sitch too. That was going pretty quickly as well. Canned bread, fruit's all that's left. Winds dropped its head. Saving. I thought it was only supposed to do that every 30 minutes. I don't think that much time's gone by. Got that. Yeah, so far it's good timing on the navigation. He comes right back on, gets us up into the 90%, 100, switches out for observation. It's perfect. This radio thing's kind of goofy. I want to take him off there, I guess. I missed that one myself. It's 58%, 11.2, 6,700 kilometers. I might have to slow it down a tad to keep that drain off until I figure out what the hell caused such a strain on that. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, engine specialist. You could always have. Squad's tab, we were just in there though, is what I'm saying, man. Like that adds on the automated shifts. But if I want to assign somebody to the officer on that particular station, I can't bump it up. You're not gonna let it go till I join Discord, huh? Testing, testing.
Hey, there you are.
What's up, sir? So school me on this. What am I missing?
Okay, let me mute the chat. 1 second. I got to mute your stream so I don't echo.
You're good.
All right, can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go to the squads tab in crew management,
Gotcha.
and I'll explain it to you.
I'm there. Fill me in.
You see all those numbers in sailors lines, right? Zero sailor. You got you should have 0 sailors all the way down that line.
Okay.
The reason that is because you've got to free up your crew.
Okay.
All right. This also correlates to your schedule tab.
Okay.
Like in my schedule tab, I only have 2 shifts, a morning and an evening.
Okay.
And the way I've got it set up is there's only 8 hours on each shift. Everything else is grayed out.
Okay.
So from 5 a.m. to noon is the morning shift. That's all green.
Okay.
The evening shift is from 1 o'clock, 1300, all the way to 2000,
Okay.
and everything else is gray.
Okay.
All right. Now for the officers beneath those shifts,
Mm-hmm.
my captain runs a marathon shift because he's really good at it.
Okay.
I've got him going from 0 midnight all the way to noon,
Okay.
and then grayed out the rest of that.
Okay.
Kurt Hoffman, who's my XO, who you were having trouble with last night,
Yeah.
he's completely gray,
Okay.
and that's because I want him available whenever.
Anything.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now I happen to have another officer on board he's matching my evening shift.
Okay.
Like he's grayed out all the way to 1300, and then he covers the evening shift at 2000. Right.
Okay.
Now my radio guy, I've got him listed for morning shift, but I really kind of use him all grayed out. But I have him on. I'm sorry, my mechanic, my main mechanic, my chief engineer,
Mm-hmm.
is on the morning shift, and then the rest grayed out. But I've actually got him less 1 hour because he kind of covers my second engineer sometimes.
Okay.
So I always have him cut off early and go to bed, and have my number 2 come on. And he's also my chief mechanic is also my torpedo guy. He's got the best torpedo skills.
Okay.
So I want him to be mostly clear and only doing engines like kind of almost part-time.
Okay.
And then my second mechanic is running from 8 a.m. to about 3 o'clock, and then the rest of that's grayed out.
Okay.
Now, when you go back to squads, you want 0 sailors on all those lines.
Okay.
And then on your morning shift, it doesn't matter which sailors you pick, you'll figure them out later.
Yeah.
But you pick out 4 names and add them using the green box that says add sailor.
Okay.
When you hit the add sailor button, it's going to take you into your crew list, and then you just click on a name and it'll add him, and you do that 4 times to where you got 4 on each shift.
Okay.
What this is going to do is going to give you 8 guys free at all times, basically,
Okay.
for you to assign to your officers when you need them.
Gotcha.
Okay, and that will fix just about all your problems except for your task tab where you've got your officers doing stuff and the numbers fields.
Right. Right.
Mine is, you'd be surprised looking at my task tab for my officers. It's almost clear,
Right.
except for my main gunner guy. I've got him ready to go, and my chief engineer, I've got him on max. He's on my highest number is on reloading and warming torpedoes is number 9.
Right.
All my sleep settings are at 10 because I don't like doing the double digit thing.
Right.
So on my sleep setting is all 10, right? Actually, I need to fix something. I just discovered something. But anyway, I zeroed one guy out from sleeping because I had a problem with him, but he's fixed now. So,
Nice.
but anyway, so all your sleep is at 10, right?
Right.
And all your other skill levels will be from 10 to below, with 10 being the most important on down, right?
Right.
So like my medic guy, he has a 10 on the first aid kit,
Right.
and then he has nothing else.
Okay.
That's because he's my first officer. He happens to be cross-trained, which is extremely helpful.
Right.
But my radio guy also has that skill now because I just picked up a new radio man. So I have him at like a 7 on the. He's like a backup medic,
Right.
right? So, but his main numbers are the radio and the hydro. The hydro being the highest and the radio being the second highest. So hydro is 9, radio is 8, and then medic is 7.
Right.
And then you just kind of work it that way. Like I was mentioning in chat last night, you really don't want an officer doing more than 3 things.
That makes sense. Like having it relatively simplified. You don't want them all over the place,
Because,
stretched thin.
well, the main reason for that is you don't want to wear him out so fast.
Right. Right.
The more numbers you have in there, the faster he's going to get tired.
Right. Makes
So that's
sense.
why my captain has nothing.
Right.
Like what I do is like when I'm entering combat. Now my hunter is my most experienced officer, so I don't use him for ranking up right now. I mean, I'm trying to rank up my third officer, who's my merchant guy.
Sure.
So when I board other ships, he's more capable of detecting when somebody's lying to us.
Right.
I also just upgraded him to navigator, so he can also determine if they're lying about the course. So now
Okay.
he's covered on that boarding ships thing.
Okay.
And then, so I'm trying to rank him up. So he's been doing most of the torpedo calculations and the torpedoing ships and gunnery. I'm having him do everything, trying to rank him up fast.
Right.
And he's just about ready to run his own boat. Now, Kurt's already ready to run his own boat. I just have him as a medic, and he's just kind of cruising around with us. But the other night, I was in such a fight that I had the captain was on the Uzo. I had Kurt on the attack scope, and I had Felix on the observation scope, and they were all 3 running plots on targets because we were shooting torpedoes at everybody pretty
Right.
much. So I had them all on scopes, and then the other bonus that you may not know about is you can assign crew to your officers on the scopes, and they will get the courses and the speeds faster, up to 50% faster if they have 2 crewmen on, and 25% faster if there's only 1 guy on the scope with him.
Okay.
That applies to both the attack scope, the Uzo, and the observation scope. They do everything faster when there's crew with them doing the job, right?
Gotcha.
So you'll be amazed at how fast they calculate stuff when you've got crew on them. You'll be like, holy shit, they're ready.
Right.
And oftentimes I don't have a torpedo warm because either I forgot or I've got my chief mechanic doing something else, like keeping the boat really level when we're at shallow depth so I don't poke out of the surface.
Sure.
He does that a lot. He corrects my depth for me a lot. But that's just some of the basic stuff. And once you've got those settings in there, you basically don't have to worry about it anymore.
Right.
All you have to do is go in and out and tell him what you want him to do, or all you got to do is click the number of him. Like my captain's number 1, so I hit number 1 on the keyboard, and then I press tab, and I tell him what I want him to do.
Yeah, I
It's-
definitely have to remember that, the shortcut for that.
I mean, it's so fast doing it that way. And I got that from Salty and another guy called Taff in Exile, who's in UK.
I've watched a few of his YouTube videos, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, both of those guys are extremely knowledgeable in the game, and so I kind of pick and, like I did, like you did. I kind of watched a few of the videos and got the basics down, and then from there I was on my own.
Nice.
Like with those settings, you should have at least 10 free crewmen on any given shift if you want it that way. Like me, I've got nobody assigned to we're at dock right now. We're at port, so I've got nobody assigned. I just went in there and manually took everybody off each officer, and it's showing me that I've got 10 guys available. 4 of them are on observation, so they're actually standing on the top observation port looking at the port. And then I got also, if you go into the other helpful areas, the crew and the white hat area.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I got
If you go into task in the white hat area, I only have 3 boxes with numbers in them.
Okay.
One is the engines, which are 9. The next box over is the binoculars. They're at 8. And then I have 7 on radio. And what I do is when I'm on the surface, the guys are on observation, 4 of them, right? And then I can put my officer on Uzo with 2 crew. That makes a total of 7 guys looking for ships on the surface if I want that. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
and then the other thing I do is when I'm on the surface and I want to submerge really quickly,
Mm-hmm.
what I'll do is I'll take that numbers. I'll come over this tab, this task white head area. I'll clear the boxes for the binoculars, and I'll put the 8s over on the valve box. I'll just put the numbers in there, and what happens is the crew will automatically go from observation down to the valves, and basically all you do, you're clearing the conning tower like that.
Right.
They all shoot down the hole, and then you're free to dive within seconds.
Right.
And then if you need to speed dive, you put your mechanic on there and tell them, valve down and let's go down as fast as possible, and then shave off about 15 to 20 seconds off of your crash dive.
Good to know.
Which is terribly important if you've got aircraft over your head,
For sure.
or you run into a war patrol and a destroyer's within visual sight of you already.
Right.
You got 2 choices when that first happens. You can either turn and run at flank, or you can dive and evade,
Right.
and go to blue light. Those are your only 2 choices, right?
Right.
So, and it's all about when you get higher up, when you become an ace, the AI actually starts hunting you.
Right.
It sends carriers after you. It sends war patrols after you. Whenever you start attacking a convoy, you can expect either MPVs or destroyers to be there in about 10 minutes. Especially if you're in the North Sea or near London.
Right.
You're gonna have something on you pretty quick. So you got to get your business done quick, and then either get out of there or submerge and either attack them or wait them out or whatever you want to do at that point. But I just wanted to share some of that with you. It was much easier to tell it to you than to try to type all that out and have you read it, on stream or whatever.
No, understandable. Yeah, I appreciate it.
But now we just finished a hell of a patrol. We got 109,000 tons of shipping, and about 15 ships and about 4 warships. So about 18 ships total.
Yeah.
And I'm debating on whether to go back out because my fatigue is about 19 per minute negativity on my crew right now. Now, while I'm at port, it's not effective, but when we're out there, it dies pretty fast. I either have to be cooking, playing cards, or playing music at all times to keep them from losing discipline real fast.
Sure.
And it became a problem on my last patrol, so I'm probably going to go on vacation, even though it's going to push us into late April, which I'm thinking will end that Norway campaign, because I think we just declared war on Norway. So if I go on vacation, I'm going to miss that.
Right.
And I don't know if I want to do that yet.
Understandable.
So have you got war yet, or what's going on in your game?
Yeah, they've announced it now. We got the radio man to pick it up. So I think my biggest hurdle right now is I just want to work out the scheduling and kind of smooth that out so I feel pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah, that'll only take you a few minutes. Like right here where you're at.
Yeah.
Take that green check bar off of the night shift. You see that 3rd shift down there?
Right. Oh, you're saying like remove that shift. I got you.
No, don't do it. Don't do that. Just hit that arrow there, and then you can delete that shift from hitting that X right there. See the X right next to the red boxes?
Yeah.
Highlight that, and it's gone.
Right. And then you're running, you said, from 5 a.m. to...
All these, yeah. Just right-click your mouse on these red boxes and convert them to gray. You've got your shifts the way you want them right now. All you got to do is gray out those boxes. There you go. And just drag it. Hold that button and drag it, and you'll gray them out. There you go. lickety split, right? And then on your officer, like, who are you using the most right now? Is it your captain, or
I mean,
who
this
you try?
is it's all fresh on this one. Literally just starting out with this, so nobody's these guys all have to level up. I think our highest, or let me take a look.
Well, the way it's your choice. You're the captain of this boat, but the way I do it is I pick the one guy. Obviously, we're first starting out, we want the captain to rank up fast, right?
Right.
Because we want to we go ahead and get him the gunnery skill if he don't have it. But I think you got a mod that gave it to him already, so you ain't worried about that.
I did check that earlier, so we're good to go on both of those. The captain and whatever we
Cool.
want to call him, first mate, chief boatswain.
Okay.
They both should be good.
All right. You also want whoever your second or third officer is. You also want him to have gunnery, so you can put him on the any aircraft gun
Yeah.
when you're on the 88. That way, you get double fire on surface boats or aircraft. You
Right.
can actually you get a way better chance of hitting whatever you're shooting at if you got two guys with gunnery skill, right? So you want one of your officers to kind of be ranking up at the same pace as your captain if you can do it. By putting him on calculating torpedo courses or actually sinking the ships or whatever. That's where they get the most points. The officers do for leaders.
Yeah, I mean that works
Um,
out because captain's rank 1 right now. The chief boatswain, which would be like in yours, Kurt. They just have his name changed on here. He's already hit rank 2, so he's got a
yeah,
little bit of a start on him.
your chief engineer and your
Yeah.
which is it's all right. It's fine, but yeah, it's basically however you want to do it. And that's how you set up your schedule. Now,
My
like I was
question
mentioning
for
earlier,
this,
I
which
want
you had earlier,
go ahead.
so this part we were talking about with the squads, like you were saying
Right.
to take the sailors off of those shifts.
All right. We can do this fresh right here. You
Yeah,
see
let's
on
go
the
for it.
morning shift on the morning shift,
Right.
click that green button. It says Add Sailor.
Got it.
Now, when you put check marks in those boxes, it's going to add them to that shift. So just pick the first four. They may or may not be the best at the jobs that you're going to have the task assigned to, but it don't really matter. You can sort it out later.
Right, 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 right.
What you don't want is you don't want the same name on both shifts because that'll screw it up. All
Sure.
right, now do the same thing for your evening shift. Just give 4 sailors to that.
So we got Daniel, David. Oops. I think I goofed that up. Let me back up here.
Well, it's really easy to fix. There's an X next to each name. When you click it, it'll take them off the shift.
Got it. So David is going to go. All right.
Now, David on my boat, I think, is good at
Dirk.
doing officer stuff, but I'm not positive on that.
So that gives us 4 separate guys on each morning.
Right
And
now,
evening shift.
if you back out of this menu by clicking exit and then go look at that box in the lower right, you'll see how many available. The second number in the bottom there is how many available sailors you have to assign to officers.
Okay. So we've
The
got
second
6
number,
we
not
can
the first
sign
one.
up. Right.
The first one is the one that's actually doing stuff. The second one is how many sailors are free. You have 6 that you can assign to your leaders now. So you can actually put 2 guys with your mechanic and 2 guys with your navigator, and you'll get 50% less fuel usage, and you won't have to worry about fuel anymore.
See, here's something. It must be a little different somehow. I don't know if it's due to some setting I have or the mod, but like right here where we're at, which I know it might take it a second for you to show up here.
No, I
Like,
see it.
okay, we're on
All that's
squads.
doing, right here is randomly assigning a sailor to that
You're saying
officer.
to do it this way with like the green button for add sailor rather
Right.
than
Like add a
okay.
specific name to
I
that
gotcha.
officer instead of doing that because you don't want the computer to arbitrarily assign a sailor that is
I
on a
gotcha.
shift.
I gotcha.
All right.
Okay. So if we
So
want, let's get here. We'll
now
test
what you
out
can
my
do
sailor.
here, is go back to the officer,
Mm-hmm.
click the box twice to where it adds sailors to him.
Right.
Not there, not there. Back to the main screen.
Okay.
Go back to the main screen. Let me show you something. It's really easy to do. You don't have to memorize names when you do it this way. Like
Okay.
click him, click the engineer again. Now hit the. I can't see because your
Oh, the
picture's in
cam.
front of it.
I
But
got you.
that's fine. Is it not allowing us to give him another sailor?
It just says 1 of 1. It's showing.
Like if you hover over his picture over here on the right,
Yeah.
there should be a plus and minus box next to his picture.
Right. It's there, and it
It's
does.
grayed out. What
It
is it
is.
saying?
It says
I
add
can't read.
sailor
It's so small.
UBE requires an authority skill. Sailor may aid officer and perform tasks to complete them faster
Oh,
with
he
better
doesn't have it.
results.
He doesn't have it yet. Oh. Does any of your officers have
So it's looking, the
have
way
this
it looks to
ability?
me in game is it's showing that all of them, at least for now, will only allow 1 slot.
Now, is this guy that's got the crew assigned to him? Is he your chief mechanic or is he the regular
I
mechanic?
believe, let me double check, because I actually, with the different names, uh, let me back up here. He
Well, you
is, it's right
could have
here,
just looked at his portrait
chief
and it'll tell
engineer.
you. Okay, he is the chief. Okay,
Yeah.
and he doesn't have. Look at his skill box. I was just curious.
Yeah.
It doesn't say. Like if you yeah, look at his skill box.
Basically,
Yeah, his hat's dark. That's the middle one on the top row,
right
all the
there.
way in the middle. In the middle, I think
Right,
it's
it's
the middle
showing
one.
+1 to followers limit, so we need
Yeah,
that.
right. Okay.
I see.
All right. So we got to rank our dudes up to get the fuel bonus. Is basically what the game's telling us.
Right. So for now, I'm just
Um,
gonna have to kind of skate through it.
no, your captain, I think automatically gets 2 guys to him, don't he? So if you hit the number 5
It'll let
key
me
here,
bump up 1, but it will
that's it.
not. Yeah, it won't do the second either.
They're all that way. All right. So we just started out again. All right, I got you. All right, we're
Because
starting
it
fresh.
shows, yeah,
Starting
improved
out
authority.
fresh.
It's right there. Yep. So
So the
I'd have to
best you
unlock
can,
this.
I think the best you can hope for right now on the fuel is what you have now. I think, which is 20%. But you need a navigator. You need somebody on navigation station right now.
Let's see.
Just pick and choose whoever you want to do it.
Cosmo, my crew shift and
Your
priorities. All
radio
shifts are
man
24 hours
is
and each has 1
put.
sailor.
Let's see.
Do sailors have specific traits in this mod? What's wrong with having random sailors
Uh,
assigned? I don't think it really matters, Cosmo. From
the
my
number 4
understanding, I think we
key.
can do both. It's just
You
I
put him
think it's
on
personal
navigation and
preference.
add a sailor to him, and that'll give you more mileage. Which is the guy to the left of your captain, that guy right there. All right. Now, if you hover over the fuel can up there on the bar, you should see some added percentage fuel on your fuel usage.
Yeah, we can reduce it with 1
There you
on
go.
each of those to -10, so minus 20%.
20% now.
Yeah,
All right, that gave us 8,600 miles. That's more than enough to get us back. So
yeah.
as long as you got that set up right there, you'll be fine on fuel. But somebody has to be on those 2 stations with crew assigned to them at all times to receive that bonus.
Right.
And our morale's dropping pretty quickly too. Why is that?
I know it's saying too much work from officers, and we've only got 1 person assigned to. It's pretty much the 3 primary. Like, I don't keep somebody on radio when he's just sitting there, which he's not
All right,
even on right now. So
hover over that little box in the lower right for me, if you don't mind. See if we can figure out what's going on with the morale. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4,
yeah,
5, 6,
Cosmo.
7,
From my
8. That's what it
understanding of
is.
this, I think
We
it's just
got
personal preference with what we
8
want to do.
sailors. Actually, why do we got 11? All right, we got 3 guys on with our officers, right? Or just 2?
Should be just those 3, and then I can double check squads.
Okay. Go to tasks, task tab,
Yep.
white hat, The white head button. There you go. All right, we got way too much stuff. This is why they're saying we're doing too much, is because we've got way too much stuff going on here. Like I was mentioning earlier, I've only got 3 things. Now you're doing a lot more. I'm not running the full task menu. I'm only running 5 of those. So, but what you can do is you can all the lower numbers all the way up to like 7, blank those out, and that will go away. They won't say they're working too hard. You really don't want anybody on that red button thing anyway. That's the one that hits alarm all the damn time.
Yeah, that was a headache for sure.
All right, and you really don't need anybody doing the doors. You can do that manually. That's the far right box with the hand on the door thing.
Yeah.
When you go into battle, when you go into battle by default, everybody's supposed to close their doors. That way, if there's a hole in one of the sections, it doesn't affect the rest of the boat. But the drawback to that is that you're slamming doors when you're underwater and you're trying to hide, then they're going to hear you.
Right.
So I have that blank always too. So, and we had a few more boxes we got to clear before that'll go away.
So I could take off.
You don't really want crew on the scopes because they're going to be raising the scopes when you're in battle and revealing your position. So
That's
go
true.
ahead and
I've
blank
had
that out.
happen.
And valves is fine.
I'd say I could probably afford to take them off radio because if we need to receive something, I can order radio men to go in there and they don't have to sit
Well,
there
if you
the whole
like,
time.
if you're like me, my guy is on the radio most of the time anyway.
It'll be a
So,
little tougher probably for me until I'm able to get extra hands, like
well,
have
if
a
you want to
second
leave
one
it
in
there, that's
rotation.
fine. Once you get it down to about 4 boxes with numbers in it, they should say everything's cool.
Well, our only other options, I kind of
You
side
could
with.
take them off. You could take them off valves because you can. What happens when you hit dive? An officer will run over there and hit the dive valve for you. That's the one. That's the one with the 9s in it, I believe. No, it's not. It's the red one.
Yeah,
The red
valves
one's
are the red. Yeah.
valves are the red. That other one's steering, I believe.
Yeah, depth steers and helmsman.
All right, now you can go back and look and see if they're saying that they're still saying 5 may be enough. You can go
Yeah,
back and see
five's
if
not
they're.
causing it to drop. It looks
There
like.
you go. All right, now you're good. All right, and now you're ready to go find some targets.
We'll see at this point. We're running a little rough here until we get it smoothed out.
Why are we got an exclamation bang on the radio?
That's been like that, and I even had him on there, which is why he's so fatigued right now, but he wasn't receiving anything. I don't know if it kind of bugged with that intro thing for the UBE mod that kept coming up. That was like 2 or 3 times we saw the message. So I don't know
All
if it's
right,
kind of bugged.
You can bring the captain down off of Uzo. You've got observation up there with the crew, right?
Should, yeah.
All right, you can bring the captain down and get him on the radio and see if he can receive whatever it is that HQ is trying to send. It may be for his eyes only anyway. That may be why it's banged like that.
We'll check her out. Cosmo pointed out that he says in vanilla the crew manning the observation scope shouldn't actually cause detection, at least in vanilla. The mod, we don't know.
It does. If you're at periscope depth, they'll jump on those scopes and reveal your position to any surface contact that there is. I've had it happen to me numerous times. So
Yeah,
until I discovered
anything.
until all right. Well, I don't know why it's banged like that then.
It's got to be something.
What does that say? Hover over that again. What does it say?
Just request resupply, music, and leave station. That's all we got.
No. When you hovered over the bang box over there on the right, it said something in red. I couldn't read it.
It just says due to a weak signal, bad weather, or some other reason, currently received transmission has been interrupted, and then that's just red for the
okay.
buoyancy.
Is the weather shitty? I didn't notice.
It cleared up.
It looked like clear skies to me.
Yeah, 11 knots.
Doesn't
It's
make
not
any
bad.
sense. We are on the surface, right, or no?
Yeah, we're on surface. Yeah.
All right, all right.
Yeah, I got you,
Yeah, the two
Cosmo. I
most
know you
important
just meant the
things
vanilla
are
game.
having crew on watch and being able to dive fast when you get in trouble. Those are the two best skills to have when you're just starting out in this game, because it's all about survival in the beginning.
So I guess at this point we just ride it out for a bit and see. Like I said, this early on, I might not find much of anything anyway.
Hey, go to hover over menu and then go to your journal, and we can see what radio messages you've received, and then journals. There you go.
This was that tutorial thing. It popped up about the UBE-mod, which didn't say much, just about reporting bugs, etc.
All right, the little back arrow next to messages will take you back to the list. Activity. That one,
Nothing
there you
there.
go. At the bottom, scroll all the way down to the bottom, because that'll be your latest message.
That's all it's got. There's nothing there.
No, you were at the right place. I told you wrong. Go back the little back arrow. Go to see the little arrow that's pointing right. It's the top selection. There you go. You scroll all the way down. All right, that's your oldest stuff, and then when you come toward the top, I think it's the newest stuff, or it's vice versa. I can't remember which.
It's, yeah, bottom is newest, September 2nd. Hostile actions
Oh,
for Polish allies.
are we at
England,
war with any?
France.
Does it say anything about being at war with anybody? We should be.
It
This is
says
just
on the
all the
first, the
crap
war
from
has
the mod,
begun.
isn't it?
Germany has begun the invasion of Poland, and the world holds its breath.
Okay, so tomorrow, once the clock rolls over at night, I think we go to war.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. So you can just establish a route, speed up till it crosses nighttime, and I think it might work.
Guess. Let's see.
I always tuck in my flags. It lowers my visibility, but some people say that it doesn't matter in game, but it seems to me.
Cosmo.
I've actually had that
I think
flag
war
pop
starts
up,
close
and
to September
I got
11th,
spotted by
9th,
it with
I
a
think.
destroyer one time. I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Trial and error.
But I mean, I can't tell you how many people have said in chat, and like Salty told me it doesn't matter, and I was like, okay, whatever. So we don't even have a diving suit yet. We can't even dive on Rex yet, right?
Yeah, and I don't think the guys. It's probably going to be the same deal. One of them will have to have the trait picked up.
No, I don't think so. At least not in vanilla. Now maybe the mods changed that shit. I don't know, but I know in vanilla I was able to dive on a wreck with my mechanic as soon as we had the suit.
My very first playthrough on here, Hoffman had the diving ability like innately. Like I was either really lucky
Okay.
that he just had it, but on subsequent playthroughs, I definitely have not had like they get random stuff that's borderline useless, like cook.
Okay.
So
Well, I mean, we don't have enough coins to buy Jack Diddley right
right,
now. We
yeah,
got to sink some stuff.
broke as a joke.
We can buy fuel. That's about it.
Which yeah, that'll keep us broke for another patrol probably now.
You'd be surprised. Fuel's pretty cheap. You can go a pretty good distance and go back, and it only cost you about 100 coin. Guess gasoline was way cheaper than it is in real life. It was back then.
Cosmo living paycheck to paycheck. Let's I gotta take this.
I remember having my great granddad. I remember when gas cost me 20 cents.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, don't tell me that shit. This makes me mad.
Cosmo's in chat saying living paycheck to paycheck here, and I said, yeah, we're pretty broke, and he said, no, I mean you. I said, yeah, I know it.
I can't remember when we go to war if they send you orders or if they just
Right here, war declared. Report from BDU states that Great Britain, France, Australia, and New Zealand intend to respond against the
There you
actions of
go.
Germany's invasion of Poland. War has been declared.
Alright.
They're calling it the Second World War. So
Now
that's it.
we're off the coast of France, right?
Yeah, Spain,
Uh,
a little bit.
Spain. Zoom out some. Oh, okay. See the words where it says Celtic Sea up there,
Yeah,
right below Ireland.
yeah, right in here. BF1, that grid right here.
Yeah. Head up to that. See the top right corner of that box.
Like this
If you
vicinity.
lay in if you lay in a course to right there, you're gonna find stuff.
Well, let's do, considering the fuel situation, let me ride out what's on the patrol, and then we'll just make our way up there. That way I'm at least getting that little bit
Yeah,
of
it's
progress,
kind
so
of
we
on
don't
the
have to backtrack.
it's kind of on the way back anyway.
That's
Really.
true, yeah.
Now, if you want to avoid the hassles of the English Channel, you can actually go around England.
Wait,
It's a little quieter. I've actually sailed through that channel where Liverpool is.
yeah,
Sailed up through there. Now, the way you want to do it is you want to time it for night, right?
right,
So you spend the daylight in the big water, right? And the whole area of that Celtic Sea is also less than 200 feet, so you
okay,
can dive wrecks once you sink stuff there. So getting ranked up and getting our suit is of paramount importance if you want to dive wrecks.
right.
And then, which is it's not a problem once you sink 3, 4, 5 boats. You'll have all the coin you need once you go back.
Let's speed up just a tad. Let me keep somebody on those so our fuel doesn't totally bomb
Have
out
we
here.
got some water in the boat? Why are we at negative
It's been
ballast right
saying
here?
that. There's 1/10 of a meter, so not really.
Uh, Turn the pump on and clear that out. Lickety split if you want.
Let's see what it does.
It shouldn't be affecting the balance, but something is. Maybe it's just super rough seas. It looks like it's pretty rough up there.
6 knots, but 6 knot wind, but yeah, it's got a little bit of.
Chop. Yeah, there's pretty good chop there. Not
Just
too
leave
bad,
that
though.
on until it shuts itself off, I guess.
We're on electrics, right? You're saving gas. Is that what you're doing?
Diesel right now.
Well, we're dropping battery. I'm not sure why.
Gyro compass pumps.
Oh, you got gyro on. Well, that's good. That compensates you for you got a navigator at the station, so you really don't need gyro unless you really want it. You can have the map guy come over and turn that off if you want.
Yeah.
Be number 4, and then tab, and then gyro. Or do it that way.
Cosmo said the water drop icon is for individual compartments. So it might be, I wonder if
Yeah.
this is open right here, like if they have the hatch open.
Well, when they go,
It should
it's
lower.
it's the nature of the animal when they go in and out the hatch at the top, and there's a wave coming over, the water comes in.
Right.
And if it's really bad seas, it gets really bad really fast if you let it. So you kind of, that's why I kind of micromanage my guys that are on observation, because I don't want them going in and out of there all the time, especially the smokers. I identify the smokers by either beanie hats or shirts, so I know who's going up there to smoke. I kind of keep a watch on it. It's just I keep out of the corner of my eye and see where the water is, if water level is, and I'll start seeing water on the deck, then I'll turn the pump on. But I've only got 2 smokers on board right now, which is pretty good.
So that's showing a message. Let's see.
Oh, it's saying we got a cleaning station. All right, you can go into the task and fix that real quick if you want.
Let's let him receive this and see what it said from BDU. I forgot that one of these mods, I think, in the UBE is like gives you kind of like news recaps and whatnot.
Oh, I see. To add to your journal? I got you.
Right. So I think that's what these other messages are, but we'll see what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cosmo finishing up the patrol distance before going up to the Celtic Sea. That's what the plan is, I think, too. Hostilities with France. France has been at war with us since 1700 hours. Defensive actions against
Ooh.
French warships and freighters are permitted. Submarines are not allowed to board or attack French flagged vessels. Self-defense is allowed. Point out that all UK ships are also to be considered hostile. Copy that.
So we can't attack freighters? Is that what it's saying?
Yeah, it says basically anything UK flag is fair game, but if it's French, we cannot attack it unless we are being attacked, or I can double check. I think if it's like a destroyer, like an actual warship, I think any freighter is off limits right now.
That's strange. I don't
Breaking
remember
news.
that.
That's kind of cool that it gives you like the news breakdown, a little extra.
Yeah, if you like reading.
Hey, I'm a reader, man. Come on.
I have two, but
Let's see what
not
this
when I'm on
is.
patrol, man.
Johann Steinecker, Daily Patrol Report.
I'd be
British
handing
team
it to my
passenger
XO and
ship.
say, read this, man.
Take care of that, will you?
Tell me what this says. It's not important. Check it. The can, all right?
Of the 14, 18 crew members, there were 13 and 6 survivors and 112 members lost. Cosmo, we're invading France but can't sink their ships. Got it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Right. All right, the cleaning station. Fix this up. So we need to do.
What else can we take off of them?
I still think the radio, I can take that off because I've
What's-
always kind
what's
of
the
worked that in the
one-
past. This
what's-
is depth
what's-
steers, helmsman, observation, and engines is all we got.
Helmsman. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, you got 2 9s. You need to change one of the 9s to an 8, whichever one you want, engines or steering.
Let's do. Keep engines on 8. Add a new shift for cleaning, Cosmo said.
Why? You don't really need that. Just put a number there. Unless you want somebody on 3rd shift to clean it, but then you've got to go into the shift. You got to go into the schedules tab and then recreate that shift and then color the boxes in for when you want them to do it.
Let's see if that
If you want
gets
to do it,
somebody
if you
on
want
it.
to, all right. If you want to do it that way, I don't. Mine never comes up. I guess because I run a clean boat without cleaning shifts, but I've yet to have that
It
come
says
up.
it's
Maybe
got
it's because
somebody
I'm.
on it, so if it gets rid of that notification, if we see somebody busting
Well,
up the room.
if you're playing on super hard, that may be why it's doing that. Because I'm not playing on super hard.
I don't have, it's not all maxed out. I think the percentage it shows when you're picking your settings, I want to say we're somewhere around right now, maybe like 75, 80%.
Okay.
So I
think we're
didn't-
playing
I-
pretty much this. It must be mod then that's doing this.
I think it is, because some of this, like the food consumption and that fuel is definitely different from vanilla. Like vanilla does not put that kind of strain on those things like this did.
Right. Right. It's making it a little harder in all areas. It seems like.
Definitely.
All right.
Which kind of stinks because I think what I like most personally learning this is the UBE mod is nice because of how much it fleshes out, like in the, like ports, etc., like the little news stuff, additional ship
Right.
traffic, etc. But what I don't
Right,
like
right.
about it is like this stuff where it tweaks the actual mechanics, and then you're kind of just figuring it out when you've already headed out, which is a little more difficult. So,
Gotcha.
but I definitely agree that it did not make
Damn,
anything
this is some
easier.
deep water.
There goes
Some
our
damn
neglected
deep ass
interiors.
water
What the
out here,
hell?
man.
Seriously?
Over 4,000 meters out here, man. Screw that.
I need to figure out.
You want to freak a crew out, dive in that kind of water, man. They'll freak out, dude.
It's fine.
Now, give it at least a 3 on cleaning. You could take them off the radio and
I
see
think
how
I'm
that
gonna take
affects it.
off radio because I'm more than okay with kind of micromanaging that, and I'd rather
Yeah,
have them not
that's what I do. I
talk up
don't
the tedious.
radio, hydro, and medical. I micro the hell out of that, and then
This will
also
take off.
my engineers, I micro them pretty hard because I'm trying to get them to grow, and they're the hardest to grow. They don't only make points for fixing stuff and taking care of torpedoes and stuff. So they don't advance real quickly. You can have the radio dude drink some coffee if you need him to. He's coming up fast anyway.
Yeah, I think we got him pretty well balanced, so he's okay. I'll keep an eye to make sure he doesn't drain, though.
We
He's
need him
on.
ready to be on the scopes pretty soon, man.
And then the other thing is, what was I just thinking?
Oh, the radio good dude can also play cards if you need him to. They all can, actually.
We've got him kind of stabilized right now on morale, which is okay. It's down, but that's from earlier when we were kind of taking the hit.
Yeah, when you do things like play radio and play cards, it'll actually go back up.
I see
So
what you're saying.
you can actually get it back to 100% if you want to. It helps you stay out longer. Like if you want to stay out more than 2 weeks or whatever, you've got to do that. Otherwise,
Drain.
they'll, they'll start freaking out on each other or whatever.
Let's put, let's see.
All right, I think you pretty
Cards
much
back
got the
there.
boat ironed out now.
A little bit. We'll get there. We'll keep an eye on it and make sure we're not gonna bottom something out.
I don't get that radio message though. The weather looks fine.
Yeah, I think
I know what it is. We're too far. We're too far out.
could be. Yeah, it does say I think due to weak signal, bad weather, or some other reason currently received. Yeah,
signal.
we're just so
We're
far
broadcasting
away.
all the way across France, right? We don't have France yet, so.
Right. All right. We don't
I was gonna say if we can hunt French ships, they're all over that coast there, man. We could rack up some points real quick, but since we can't sink them,
fast travel just a tinge.
I remember when I first started out, I was preying on French boats pretty much. When I was running a boat out of La Rochelle, I think it was not La Rochelle. This was the Wilhelmshaven port.
Yeah.
You can hunt them all the way up to the time that we invade France, and then you can. Then the hunting stops pretty much after that. But the English Channel's got war patrols from the start, so.
Let's do. I tell you what we'll do right now, just for
You almost got
curiosity's
the
sake.
mileage ticked off.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna work out in our favor, and then we're gonna do a dive here just to see like how that works out, since all those random adjustments that I'm throwing together on the fly. So we'll
Got
use
free
our.
roam. Got free roam in just a minute.
See what we do here for diving. He's got somebody on the valves. That's good.
Now, if you want to, you see the guy that's asleep.
Yeah.
Not the guy that's asleep. The guy that you got him on valves right there. See, when you gave that order, he went and did the valves for you.
Yeah. Which is good because that's obviously something I don't want them to be fumbling around like not going to when we need it, because that's pretty critical.
Another thing is if we're not motivating, if we're not moving forward, the dives take longer because we're just basically flooding the tanks and it'll sink straight down.
It's definitely taking a second.
It's better to be going at least 3 forward, either engines or either battery or gas. Then once you get below, he'll tell you got to switch to battery. Sinking like a stone now. got the absorbers loaded in the ventilator?
Not on this one. Our last playthrough we did, but on this one, starting over again, I'll have to unlock that again, I'm sure, when we get back.
We don't have any in storage?
Shouldn't, not this early on, I don't think. We won't have it unlocked. Yeah, not much of anything right now.
Oh, wow, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a bummer.
Just gonna be watching that mileage on the old air supply.
Mm-hmm.
They switched over to electric, so we're good there. We'll have to keep an eye on the dive time, see if they can get us under in a timely fashion. I guess right now we'll just speed this up a tad so we're not sitting there staring at them.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the difference when the crew's doing it as opposed to the officer doing it.
Cosmo, how many hours do you get on that air supply? Right now, the way it is without blue light or anything, it's telling us it'd be fully depleted in 9 hours. There's surfacing. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it right now, Cosmo. I think, like I said, it's going to take a little while to get, like, Jet's telling me about getting them leveled up and everything, you know, like getting some more experience, get some of those other crucial points unlocked. Right now, we're going to be running a little bare bones.
Hit your number 2. Tab. Diesel generator, refill your tank. Yeah. Diesel compressor, sorry.
He's got, I think actually because I did the H key shortcut for that hydrophone listen, I think somebody was slated to go back there. I might have just actually screwed it up. I think I took him off. Yeah, somebody was going to walk back there. That's alright.
Well, your engine dude's the closest dude to it, so he can do it. As long as you don't take it above level 3 on the speed, it won't affect your speed because the crew member will stand there and maintain the engine while you're while your dude goes up there and turns it on. So either way, I just was using him because he was free and he was fully rested pretty much. So
yeah,
it's your call, whichever dude you want to use. They're all up to snuff now, pretty much.
Yeah. Let's see.
There you go. Now you got your box coming up.
Back on navigation, just to help with fuel. That's the patrol.
Let's go find us some boats to sink.
Fingers crossed.
They'll be up there, trust me. You might have to wait a minute. Like if it's when it's daytime, you want to watch out for aircraft.
Yeah, that close to. There's an Air Force base right there.
So when it's daytime, you want to kind of keep toward the left outside of that box, like toward the west coast of Ireland. If you draw a line straight down,
right.
You know, don't go any closer than that, and that puts those planes on extreme range. Even if they find you, they can't really loiter over you. So.
We gotta get Kurt.
And then when it gets nighttime, actually you can during the daytime you can drop down and do hydro, try to locate a course on a fleet or something.
Yeah.
And then around 5, it's usually around 5:30, 6 o'clock, it gets twilight surface in there because the planes are heading home when it gets that dark. So you can bring it up under the purple skies, and it's really cool to look at. That's what I do anyway. Try to enjoy the game as much as I can. I'm real big on night attacks. I mean, I do it all the time.
I'm gonna have to get.
Oop. Navigator's pooped. Captain may have to come down and cover Navigator for a little while.
Yeah, we got him on there. Let him get some rest.
There's no one on navigation. Okay. Oh, maybe there's a lag. I don't see anybody on Navigator.
No, nothing right now. I was trying to give him a chance to recoup.
Check your fuel burn. See how fast your fuel's burning. There
We
you
got the
go.
minus 20.
That's back. We're down to 7,000, 7,500. That's more than enough. Starts getting around 2,500, then you can start worrying. Might be on electrics on my way back, which is obviously slower. You don't want to be going slow through the English Channel.
Right.
The destroyers will find you fast. I've actually got dots on the English Channel marking depths, the deepest parts of the channel, and it's all along the French coast part of it mostly. You just kind of use the dots to go through the channel. But every so often, patrol is sitting on one of my dots. I have to wait it out. Dang, both the leaders are tired. Not good. We're way out of the patrol zone, so we're not even close to any real shipping yet. Once you get kind of close midways of BF3 and BF1, there might be a ship, because those are the main shipping lanes. You can draw a straight line from Liverpool over to Boston.
Yeah.
And that is one of the main shipping routes. And you can just patrol back and forth on that line, and you're going to find stuff. I mean, sometimes it's kind of dry and there's not much there, because they'll go the other shipping route takes them over the top of Ireland to Belfast.
Yeah.
That's the other main route. And there's I think was it last week or maybe the weekend, you were doing that one zone up there and there was nothing but warships.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but there's also big convoys that go through there that got aircraft carriers and cruisers and battleships and stuff.
Well, I think that was toward the end of that, like on a second stream of that, a couple days later, whatever. That was the one where Cosmo and I, there weren't too many people hanging out that night, and we ended up pursuing a convoy south,
20 plus.
and we picked out like I don't even know. I think it was at least 3 or 4 big ships out of that. It was a lot of tonnage out of one little excursion.
Yeah, if you sit on those convoy routes and you start hurting them pretty bad, they'll start looking for you. You'll start seeing war patrols. And it sounds like you actually did that, because I remember one night you were out there and there was nothing but war patrols.
It's well, since we're hurting a little bit on their exhaustion, actually, we'll dive here. Yeah,
Take it
Cosmo
down.
said 2 Dale and 1, whatever those are, OI or OL class.
A tanker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a tanker. I usually go no deeper than about 17 to 20 meters and then let the hydro guy give a listen. And you were asking me about Hydro 2 research.
So
It's a
that's
massive improvement, dude. Get that as soon as you can. It adds significant range and sensitivity
should have
to your
had.
hydro guy.
What time of day we got here? It's about 4:15 because it's trying to tell us there was nobody on dive planes there, which we have them on task.
It don't matter. The mechanic will come do it. I think he's already done it and gone back to bed.
He did. He did. I did see him hit the valve, so he did that. I just wanted
There
to
it
see if
goes.
it was
Yeah,
gonna.
you're sinking.
Yeah.
As long as you're going speed 3, man, you'll go down pretty fast. I usually do it at flank. I'm usually doing about 20 knots when I tell them to dive, and we're down quick. Yeah, I'm always booking just about everywhere I go. Man, that fuel burn is bad, man.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, just for me starting out, I like some of the things that the UBE mod brings in, but I don't like. It's a little feeling like a little too much complexity for
Well,
me.
the interesting thing about this is about 3 patches ago, major patches ago, the fuel was like this.
Yeah.
Playing. I mean, there was even vanilla. It was like this. They've changed it since the latest patch to make it a little. I guess when they added the different levels of difficulty,
I must have
the
started
low,
playing.
medium, and hard. I mean, if you're playing medium, I
Yeah,
guess it's normal, and then hard it gets like this.
I must have started playing right after that patch initially because I remember. Where was I going with this little story of mine? I must have started playing right after that patch because I remember seeing like multiple YouTube videos of just random, people choosing to upload their little stuff to YouTube saying that
Uh huh.
like how they were handling the patrols and like staying out for a long time was like they'd run their diesel, burn a little bit of fuel, and then switch it to
Yeah.
electric, run on electric, switch back to diesel, and they were doing that to extend the stay time like
Oh
out
yeah.
on patrol.
You can double your range and your loiter time by doing that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's a very handy. It's not really a trick. It's just managing the boat.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah,
I don't know. This was
I,
kind of just an experiment of mine to try out the UBE mod because I'd never tried it and talked to a few people that have used it or want to try it. So I kind of wanted to toy with it and see.
well, it's kind of funny because when I first started playing, I was watching Salty stream one time and he was complaining about fuel, and I was in his chat and I said, "Well, don't you go back and forth between the gasoline and electric?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you know, I'll run the electric down to where it's yellow or even orange, and I'll switch over back to diesel and charge it back up, and then rinse and repeat, do it over again and everything." He goes, "Oh yeah, I was doing that," and I don't think he really was because it was like a couple streams later somebody asked him about it and he told them about it, and I was like, "You never mentioned it before."
Right.
It's like he just didn't, he's super knowledgeable about it, but I guess it just didn't dawn on him to do that.
The one thing I want to check out here, which I can do at any time, I'll save, and you guys, I think maybe Cosmo too, because he's talked about wanting to try out UBE, is what I like about it. Let's do that right now. I'll show you guys. It's just a simple thing in the menu that I think is pretty cool that it adds to the game as soon as this saves here. It does take longer to save. It kind of, all that extra info, I guess, in game kind of weighs it down a bit. So if we go back to main menu here, see if I can show you guys this without. I'm sure some people may have already seen it or watched it like in various YouTube videos, but I found it pretty cool, like what they added here. So like say we wanted to fire up a new game, these are all the additional like start points, even sometimes arguably like a slightly different variant on the sub. So like you can do all these, give you a different date, little different kind of scenario, so to speak, on each one.
Oh,
It's kind of cool.
this is why you were super early before the war. You
Right.
started one of these. Okay.
So like normally there was our previous one that I'd already had going, the typical U48, and these are all like just everything in between various dates.
All right.
It's pretty cool though.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's nice.
And they actually, there's way more in there than I anticipated. They've got them all the way up. There's 42. I mean, there's 10 different ones to choose from or something.
Yeah.
43.
755. That's late war.
Yeah. But I like how they've got that
added a lot of different boats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of that stuff is text files. Just when you're, depending on what you're doing in the game, it pulls it out of a text file.
Yeah.
Change the splash screens around. Yeah. See that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think me starting out, and I want to kind of wrap my head around the basics pretty well and have everything down pat. I might just do like a simple, easy, vanilla playthrough. UBE's cool, but it adds a lot more when you're still trying to learn stuff. I think the only thing,
I don't know.
honestly,
I think you've got a good. I
that
think you've got a good enough handle on it. There's not much difference that I can see. I mean, yeah, your resources are more of a pain to deal with, but that's about it.
Cosmo said, I guess on that load screen, I didn't even pay attention to it. He said it must have said U-boat is not Silent Hunter.
Yeah, I saw that myself. I was like, that's kind of funny.
I think the worst thing for me with the UBE is just the like what's seeming to be these additional drains on everything is going to make it a little tougher. Like I understand that's all part of the management and everything, but
yeah, it definitely adds a little.
I mean that to me was fully unexpected. Like I did not think the fuel and the food consumption was changed that much because like when I saw that I was genuinely shocked. I was like, holy cow, that's a big difference. Like before you could almost kind of sleepwalk through that part of it. Now it's like, holy cow, you know, like am I gonna have enough?
As long as you got guys on navigator and engineer, you should be all right.
Trying to squeak by and give him just a little bit of a break, so hopefully it'll bump up his fatigue there just a tad. So
I mean, the captain can do it while he's resting. I mean, it's not a big deal.
That's true. I keep forgetting that they can have guys watching.
Yeah, leaders can do maps and guns and all that stuff, and mechanics are torpedoes and engines, and then the radio dude is everything else. You can occasionally get lucky and have an officer that actually can do, like Hoffman can do hydro as good as or better than the actual radio man. At least on my boat he can. And that's all trial and error. You just have the dude sit down at the station and see how far out the circle goes. If it only goes out a little ways, he's not very good at the job. If it goes out what looks like to be full range, then you know he's going to be pretty good at listening for boats. It's nighttime, hunting time.
Let's move this on just to give us a buffer.
All right, you gonna drop down, and have a listen?
Yeah, let him kick that over, switch on the gyro. He's getting some rest, we should be okay.
Need to switch to blue light if we're gonna listen for boats.
Let's trigger that first, and then I'll switch it.
Yeah, see, big waves up there. Man, captain's exhausted already. What the heck happened?
Yeah, when I switched him over to navigation, and it didn't really do
Oh,
much either.
okay. I didn't see that. That's okay. Just gotta find something first, and then we'll have to travel to it. So, all that time to sleep.
Hammerstein, that name cracks me up.
Name them after rock bands.
Definitely sounds like they were going for it on that one.
Yeah. Hammerstein. Be Captain Slayer or something. That'd be cool.
The one thing I've noticed on here, like comedically, that you guys might not even be able to see probably from the stream, but like if you're looking at the actual little like the mini portraits it gives you here for like the officers, I
Right.
swear to God, every one of them, even with custom, you know, whatever you want to say, like the little customization to each of their characters, it literally
Okay.
on my screen makes it look like each one of them has an overbite. Like every single one of them, like you can just see their teeth, like just a tinge. It's like the most off-putting thing seeing that. It's really hard to see. Like when I look over at the stream preview, it's I probably couldn't tell if I didn't know, but like right here, I can see
I don't.
it, and it's just
I
the
don't.
most off-putting thing.
I don't.
And
I
the
don't.
thing is,
Yeah,
even if you look
I
at the
see
guy,
that on.
like it doesn't really show that. Like he just looks normal, whatever. But you see it on that little portrait, and it's just enough, just a little bit.
Yeah, you can change their skin tones and
Mm-hmm.
their body types, and it'll change their actual look
It's funny.
pretty severely in some cases.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It does make a difference. Fuel's yellow already. Wow.
Jack squad, I might have to get a little closer.
Not really hearing anything, are we?
Nope. Not a thing.
Nope. Maybe we ought to get closer.
Nope. Just got something.
There we go.
Single ship. That's headed
Oh, he's right on top of us too.
85.
Surface
Perfect.
and running down.
Only 7 knots, even better.
Hopefully it's not another sub.
Yeah, that would suck.
Shouldn't be this far out.
You wouldn't think so.
Oh yeah. You don't do the dot thing on the map?
I've been doing that more since you guys, the little things I've picked up.
Well, it
So,
just helps you plot a course. Like if you put a dot there
right.
and then run time.
That's the only bad thing with me doing the H shortcut because it's a 5 minute time dive, so it doesn't really give us enough time. Like, I should have done it
Well,
just manually to let it run out longer.
all you gotta do is hit like times 140 for like 3 or 5 seconds here.
Uh,
Do the
see,
do the third box up,
it was
and
too little, like too
you'll.
far into it, I guess. I waited.
Oh, you resurfaced. Okay, I got what you're saying now.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, you switch back to white lighting and run him down. Should be no problem.
Yeah, we'll be able to.
Early war, you know he's not going to be going that fast. Probably 7.
7 knots is what they suspect. I try to let him rest a bit. Take the.
Just head straight for him at flank, and you'll have him in no time.
Pretty much headed there for now.
Oh, you're heading away from him. Your course is taking you away from him, from where your dot is. Head straight for that dot. At flank. He'll be within visual range. He's probably heading east. So you could probably go a little bit right of that dot.
Yeah, he was heading east. They suspected around 85 degrees.
Okay. Then you just move it a little bit to the right there. Yeah, you go. And then we should have full watch on the deck, right?
Yep.
If we hover over that box on the right, it should tell us how many people on observation plus our Uzo guy.
4 total on observation.
All right, that means there's 6 dudes up there looking for a ship, so you should spot him once you get closer. I know on the map mode, it seems like you're right on top of them, when you just got that little circle there, but you're really not.
Yeah.
You're about a kilometer out. And we've got max vision rings expanding pretty good here. That means it's a clear night. They can see pretty good. You can also stick a dude on attack scope, and he'll help you look if you want to.
Probably.
No, he won't be that far. He shouldn't be that far away from you.
You wouldn't think, but I'm telling you, man, with the time compression, I feel like I get pretty bad luck with trying to size up where about to intercept.
Well, I mean, even if he did get away from us visually, all I could do is drop down for a second and pick him back up again. It's not a big deal.
That's true.
He may have been headed north.
Now let's,
If he's Argentinian or what's that other, Swede, they'll cruise by the west coast of Ireland before they turn south to head towards Spain or Portugal.
that's not what I wanted.
Argentinians will, and then the Swedes actually go north of it. So
I ban him as this save blessed or cursed. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's Cosmo. I say cursed because he's going to run out of fuel.
Oh, no, we ain't gonna run out.
It's pretty low.
We'll get us a boat, and then if you want, we can just switch to electric halfway back. We'll get there, plenty of fuel left. We'll just have to keep guys on the engines and the maps at all times. It should be fine.
I think personally what I'll do tonight before I'm even done with the stream is I may start just a nice vanilla playthrough rather than make it more difficult myself with the
UBE
old
stuff.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's cool. I like it. I think it adds a lot of good things, especially for people like you guys that have played a lot. But for me, starting out, I'm cool with just playing it a little more basic.
Well, we need to tweak our officer and our captain after we deal with this ship when we find it.
Yeah.
Okay, where is he?
Are they? What the hell is going on? I canceled the
Susie.
dive, so we stopped at Periscope, which is not what I was intending to do. But
Man, he must be going faster than 7 if he's. that far east of us.
That's what I mean. I figured he got away somehow.
He's just due east of us, so we know we're going to pick him up now. A little bit southeast. Okay. What I was going to mention is before we engage this dude, we want to have one of the officers on the 88 and another guy on the flat gun.
Yeah.
In the task menu. That way they'll go there when you ask them to go there. There'll be none of this resisting crap out of the mod.
Of course, it's nice choppy water on top of it.
We need somebody on the compressor.
Yeah. No, somebody was on it. What the hell? Ah, just too discombobulated.
There you go. There you go.
Want to make sure that
you can always tell because that number will start climbing in that blue box. That's where you know it's on.
Yeah, I see it now. I just missed it when they
there
triggered it.
It's on now. There you go. You got it. No problem.
What I'm worried about is this choppy water. I didn't want to run crazy fast to catch him, but it's gonna hurt.
We got to. Just get somebody on the map. It doesn't matter if you fatigue him. Hoffman needs to be on the map with a dude. There you go. Yeah, he's not going to get away from us. Just run him down. I think you can click on his box and it'll do an intercept course automatically. Get a visual on him. It'll either alarm or he's a neutral. Probably gonna have to board him and inspect him unless you want to let him go. Not fool with him.
Good lord.
Right into the sun. Ugh. I have to reduce that range before we get a flag. Might be able to pick up the flag on the attack scope or the observation scope, but it's not likely until you get closer.
Yeah, the direction he's going, not gonna be able to see.
If he's heading to an English port, he's fair game.
I'm curious to see.
He looks like he's headed that direction. Looks like Liverpool or Wales. What's it be, an American freighter? Something screwy.
A little closer.
Lennox 3 freighter. I have no idea what that is. I'm sure you don't run into him. That'd be catastrophic damage. He is that English? That's English.
Should be.
Are we neutral with them?
Well, it said UK was fair game, but it said that
Why didn't he go red? Is he red on the map? The boat?
because that
Wait, no, he's got that little shield in the middle of the flag. That's somebody else.
Yeah, it's not UK. It's right
that
there.
New
It's South
Zealand or
Africa.
something?
No?
South
It is
Africa?
South Africa. I think. That's round though.
Wow, I've never seen a South African
Toying
this
around
far
with
north.
UBE this afternoon, I found it was the first time I'd seen Egyptian.
I've ran Egyptian before. I'm in vanilla. I've ran
Cosmo
into
said
that before.
Canadian.
I don't think so with that thing in the middle. Whatever that thing in the middle is
I don't know at that time if it's
I think it's making him a neutral, whatever it is, because he's still gray on the main map, right?
it's not bingo. It does look like a shield. It's not perfectly round.
We can board and find out, or you can let him go. Your
Mandatory
call,
price
Captain.
time. Yeah, we'll check it out and see. Like I said, I'll pray. We're safe in terms of not slamming into him, but the problem is just getting close enough.
Yeah, you gotta
A man
come
in an
down to one.
African country that is British colony sink it, nobody will know. Shoot.
HQ will know. You don't want that negative stuff going on with your command points. Believe me, it's a pain in the ass.
Let's see if we can slow down a tinge and talk to him here. Freighter is unarmed. Seems not to be escorted. Flies. Actually, you know what? We need to stop so we don't risk slamming into him.
What did it say? Prize rules allow us to sink such ships. See what he's hauling. Maybe he's got something we can use of.
Since I'm probably not going to keep this playthrough, we're just going to send a full group.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Cosmo, Canadian Red Ensign has a shield on it. I believe you. You probably know better than me. Merchant ship deck. Crew climbs the deck with some help from the cargo. Blah, 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 blah. Speak German too well.
Communicate in English. Well,
Captain
that makes
leaves
him
you in his
hostile right
office
there.
and makes it just headed to Cardiff docks and is carrying utilities. It seems that this ship is trading with blockaded Allied ports, and it's fair prize for you to sink it.
There you go. Order him off the boat and gun it. And take whatever he's got. Search the cargo hold before you leave, though. See what he's got. Maybe something you want. Got plenty of storage space.
It's only showing
Go to the engine room.
cargo hold. Here we go.
You'll have to search the hold where you can see the stuff. Just hit the times 48 or whatever. It'll speed it along. If you need to go back to that inspection thing, you can click their helmet. It'll take you there.
Got it.
Speed it up.
Faster to inspect after you force them to evacuate.
There you go. Now view the transported goods.
Parts.
We love parts. Take them. They're very valuable. Take them all.
At this point, I guess just about anything they're hauling would be valuable for us.
No, parts and medical supplies are like 1,500 coins each. So you just fixed your budget with this boat. Of course, we're not keeping this playthrough, which
Right.
sucks, but that's all right.
That's all right.
And
You'll
we'll take
learn.
some time to offload this stuff.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and hit the off duty for 3 hours up there. And then once they're done, then you can sink the boat.
I think we're good.
You can also get some more stuff if you want, because it's there for the taking.
I'm curious to see, just for reference sake, we'll steal what we can, not steal, we'll take what we can take, and then when we get back to port, I want to see what it all sells for.
It's good money, dude, trust me. You fill all those boxes of parts and go back, you're going to be very happy at your coinage.
It's good to know. I would not have known that.
There you go. return to ship. Or after you're done.
All right, now.
Now you're gonna have sink this thing because they're gonna get credit for it. Oh, the captain's exhausted. That sucks. You have to drink some coffee if you want him to do it.
Let's do. We might as well throw one in there just to do it.
He needs the experience, but we're not keeping, so doesn't matter.
Yeah. Where the hell?
Oh, now we're nice and close too. You'll be able to punch 4 holes in that thing and it'll go down. Just equally space them from bow to stern, and then.
The hell did he do?
Oh,
Take off?
No, he's
we
right
were a
there.
little further away. There's the
We
lifeboats.
floated away. Yeah, we gotta get
That's
closer.
fine.
Send your message. Get your free points. There you go. Inspected Linux. There you go. Now you're ready to sink this puppy. You can get closer and
Yeah, let's put.
have some fun if you want, because all this bobbing up and down is gonna make it tough.
Yeah, we'll get ourselves closer.
Or you can warm up the torp and take care of it with one shot if you want.
Definitely too.
Oh,
I've said it before that UBE mod kind of makes it a little more laggy in game too, which is frustrating sometimes.
Yeah. Take your prisoners too. Take your captain and the mechanic back to Germany with you. From the
Yeah, we'll
boats.
check the old lifeboats.
When you're oh, nice waterline shot. That wave just screwed it up. Ah, perfect shot. Good shot. Now move back toward the middle some, and then wait for the water line again. Oh, he blew the mast off. Nice shot.
That was too high. Looks like it put a hole in it though.
Yeah. Really, where you place them don't matter. It's when that health bar goes down to 0. You know, it goes from green to light green all the way down to nothing. And it's going down. Captain should be on boat 2. I think usually.
2.
No?
Got an engineer.
Oh shit, he's gotta be there somewhere unless you.
I think he's on the very last
There
one.
he is. There, well, the mechanic is the only officer.
That's not what I wanted.
Wow.
That's it.
That's it. And wow. You give him some food, you'll get more command points, but we're not saving, so it doesn't matter. Blast away. You can use the flat gun here too if you want. You're close enough.
I think it's going down, I'd say.
Is the health bar dropping? I can't tell.
That's another thing with UBE is UBE kind of breaks this where the HP doesn't actually show, which is super frustrating. Yeah, it just looks like an empty bar, which is incredibly lame.
Oh, that is lame.
And then, like Cosmo and I talked about the other day, when you look at this little stat screen that comes up, it shows like water tanked, which it's increasing. So I'd have to say it's going to go.
I saw something cool the other night when I was playing. I got on the flat gun and I was uber close, and I shot the flat gun in a circle, and it actually put a circle in the side of the hood with bullet holes. I thought that was cool.
That's pretty neat.
I'd never seen that before, that kind of detail.
Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think she's...
There's a nice perfect circle right there.
That's it.
This is gonna be a floater. Oh, you got boxes floating. See what's in the box. Put it on the boat.
I've never seen that before. Canned meat.
Yeah, get a guy on the deck. Canned meat. Yeah, you get some free food, man. Canned feet. You got 2 food types there, man. That's awesome. If you want. I mean, it's not worth anything back at the dock, but make your sailors happy anyway.
Place on the deck.
There you go. Now you have to have an officer come up there and get it. Take it out of the box. Once all the items are out of the box will leave the deck. And then you can pick up the second box. There you go. Drag it over to the dude. Drag it over to his backpack.
Yeah, I think I goofed that up. It's like gone, despawn.
Oh no! Or did he get it? Did the guy that you have highlighted
Doesn't look
you put
like
it in
it.
his pack? Well, you can pick up the other one and get the fish if you want. I think the other one's still floating around. Or did it sink with the boat?
It's there.
Oh, there it is. All right.
So let's see if we take him.
It doesn't matter who it is as long as they got a free backpack slot.
There it is.
There you go. Ta-da! Now you can move that to your galley, and they got canned fish or meat or whatever that was. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The destroyers, the MTBs usually drop canned fish. The destroyers, you can find cheese and sometimes meat. But picking up stuff on the ocean when you got enemy floating around, it gets kind of hairy sometimes. Especially when a plane appears, that's a worst case scenario.
Well, for the
You're trying to
sake
get stuff
of.
out of the ocean and a plane flies over. That's why I usually put a skipper or an officer on the flat gun at all times when I'm on the surface, at least he can cover us.
Let's see how low that fuel percentage is when we get back now, just from the fast travel.
It probably won't affect it when you do this button thing.
Really?
I don't think it does.
About
Because
to find out.
I've done it before, and it didn't look like any of my resources were gone.
Yeah, I guess so. My overall opinion is I like the UBE. I just don't think it's for me, at least right now. It's cool though. I like what they add with it.
You'll lose your Nazi flag, man.
Bummer.
I bet they're pretty good sinking one boat. Additional rewards.
Report from BDU states that Nepal has joined the Allies.
Is that
South
who we
America
sunk?
has joined the Allies.
Okay.
BDU states Canadian government has declared war
Just,
against Germany.
just more ships for us to sink.
Interesting.
All right. Yeah, before you abandon, go to the store and sell those parts. And
Yeah, I
I'll
am
show you.
interested to see what those parts go for sure.
Now, when you go to the store, you can just right-click the parts in your hold, and they'll sell. Just right-click them, and they'll sell them for value. Show me
Oh
what
yeah,
you got.
263 a piece. That is going to be quite a bit. I
Yeah,
think that means per part, not the stack.
It is. Just click one of them and right-click it.
Oh yeah, it is per part.
And then sell all. There you go. Boom! Watch your coins go up.
That is a lot. Yeah.
Boom! Boom! Boom!
Easy money.
I love parts, man. Parts are great. And not only that, you can keep them and use them when you get in trouble. I've got like over 30 parts on my boat right now, I think.
Good to know. That is good to know.
I overdid it though. The other thing is like your officers can carry parts on them. You can have all 5 of them carry parts if you want to, and then it frees up your storage. The only drawback to that is if you need to get something off the deck or take bullets to the guns or whatever, they can't do it when they're carrying those parts around.
Right.
But like usually before I leave dock, I have my guys that are doing medic. They get the med kits on their person, and then my engineers get the parts on their person, and then they all can carry the snorkel, the mask thing that you can use to breathe. They can all carry that ahead of time. So if they ever either get caught in a compartment with water, they can survive. So you can preload your officers is what I'm getting at.
Right.
And then add to your storage space and carry more stuff.
So I think, let me see, we're actually going to reboot U-Boat here completely.
Gonna prep another save.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look because I like some of these other mods that are like included with that or that they recommend with UBE. So I might be able to add like TDC's one I would probably use. And I kind of like that. I know it doesn't do much for the gameplay, but the that I'll be able to show it here on the list when the little launcher loads, if it ever loads. I don't know what it's doing here. But there's another mod like included in that little bundle that kind of does the expanded like BDU messages and whatnot, like stuff like that, like information, which I think is kind of cool just for fun. But I want to see that list. But what the hell is Steam doing here?
Yeah, they're fun. You just don't know how they're going to react with the latest patch unless it says they're for that latest patch. You can kind of
Most of
expect
them,
things to act up, I guess
most of
you'd
them that
say.
I've looked at. Oh, there's the launcher. So what the hell? Telling me no connection. Anyways, so you got TDC. Community patch is the only one that's like really vague. I think you have to read on Steam what that actually does. Custom
Yeah.
actions is busted for sure. German aircraft, the enhanced ID book, which is nice. Historical flags and identification. The sinking
Well,
physics is kind of neat too.
I've never used any of that stuff, man.
That's the right there, the
It's
enhanced
because
BDU
every time
combo, of
I
course.
get around and using one of those mods, there's a new patch, and you have to start all over anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. I had the flags for a while. That's basically the only one I really used, but a lot of. I like flying the Kriegsmarine, the white and black flag. It's pretty cool.
Actually, let's leave that on. Take this off. Sinking physics. That's alright. Historical
Yeah,
flags and
it's kind of
ID.
funny on my boat right now. I've got most of my crew look like English sailors. They got the blue shirts on with the white hats and stuff. It looks like an American sub, American crew on it, a German sub with an American crew on it, kind of, sort of.
One was a shared pack
Pretty
of
funny.
textures. Yeah, that was the one that had supposedly tweaked sounds and whatnot. I feel like I haven't noticed much of anything in that though.
It reminds me, I got to take the coats off because it's April now. I don't want guys getting sick. What's really neat, I think something that's really neat is when it's like really bad weather outside, it automatically changes them to
I've
the
seen
foul
that,
weather
yeah.
gear.
It's pretty neat.
It didn't used to do that. That's a pretty new addition, patch wise. And that happened about 3 or 4 patches ago, I guess.
I think I'm
You
gonna
used to
leave
have to
those on.
put the coats on and everything.
Try that out.
In the North Sea, I kind of keep them in winter weather gear anyway because it's so freaking cold up there. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'll do the Norway campaign since it's available. Not gonna be available very long.
I'm gonna
I think there's
start
3
some
parts to it. You
basic.
got I think it's mostly escort stuff, which is kind of boring for me, but yeah, hardcore. I haven't done hardcore yet. I
Let's
think
put
I'm on
instances
intermediate on
new
mine.
gameplay perspective. Yeah, that's one thing I think is interesting on here that you never see anybody do because it would probably be incredibly difficult is playing this like pretty much entirely in first person.
Somebody I was watching was doing it.
It's such a cool view, but good lord, to do
Oh
all that in
yeah,
first
yeah.
person would
Taff
be.
and Exile likes to do that a lot. The guy from England I was telling you about.
Yeah. I
He's
ironically I watched one of his YouTube videos earlier today
yeah,
while I was doing some
he,
work.
he's really good. He's a really good gamer. He plays a lot of things really well. And
Difficulty.
I think he was a early play tester for Playaway as well. When they first introduced the game, he was playing it like day one.
I'm debating on if it's better for me to leave most of this on like medium setting. I don't want to make it like uber
You got to turn
overwhelming.
them dark nights off. I bet
Yeah.
it defaults to that.
Yes, I learned that.
Black hole nights or whatever the hell it's called.
Pretty much. That's literally what it is. Amanim, thanks for dropping by, buddy. Have a good night. We'll talk to you. Morale management. I wonder if that was on hard in that playthrough as well, which may have made that tougher. The drain. Leave them on medium, it's enough. Hardcore aiming, that means they can't do the calculations.
Humidity's killing
I'm gonna leave that off for an option. Automatic, collision damage is fine. Torpedo flaws, realistic's fine. Hide detection hint, I'm gonna leave that off. Realistic builds is cool. Curvature, darker nights, no thank you.
74% humidity.
Damage difficulty. I suppose we'll just keep it medium.
Yeah, medium's hard enough, believe me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think I want to bump myself over the top. I'd rather feel like I'm actually progressing a bit and learning.
What are you going to name him this time? Swankster?
Probably. The gaming buddies, it's always, the meme is I'm Swanky Goose. Not Swanky Mongoose, just Swanky Goose. Guess it
You
doesn't
going to
really,
make him look like you?
I don't think
There
I
you
can
go.
make these guys look like me.
You can get pretty close. I think. The complexion is the thing that really changes them. I mean, it really
It does
changes
look
them.
different than how it used to when I first started playing through. I feel like
It
that's
like
really
changes
red.
their eyes and their nose and everything. I mean,
It's like
there's one of them where they squint, or one of the faces they squint pretty bad.
right there, it looks like.
I don't know if you can get rid of the overbite though. That may be part of all of them.
Let's check out the face types here.
There's one Cro-Magnon dude. He's got a giant forehead. If you take the hat off, he's got this huge forehead.
That looks like a baby face right there. That's a pretty young Cosmos that I named my skipper Spanky Bottom. Oh, God.
I don't want to be on your boat, man. It's like one of those jailhouse boats. You got dudes freaking out with each other and shit. Get out of the bathroom, you two, you know? Shit.
You swanky goose. Skip our little intro video. Yeah, UBE, the overall opinion of mine for what it's worth to anybody, UBE is cool. I think it adds a lot to the game. I think if you're like me and you're still wrapping your head around things, I don't know that you want to do it, but I like it. I think that just how it adds the realism of like the shipping lanes and as much as they can recreate, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was the big plus of it, was the all the different U-boats that you have at
It
the beginning.
does, yeah. Cosmos
It's
said
like a
discipline is
massive
always
amount.
rock bottom on my boat.
Well, I mean, it's good if you want to do sea
Weed
wolves.
out, yeah. Yeah.
Sea wolves are great to have. I had like 5 of them on one boat, man. They were rock solid. I mean, I never had a problem with discipline after that. They motivate the other crew when they're
Let's
veterans.
see
It's real
what
high
our
like that.
crew is looking like with officer abilities. We've got captains, got merchant, perfect. Thank God somebody finally has that.
Ah, nice.
Horst has
Then you
merchant
get
as
2
well.
of
Nod has cook, which is useless, but whatever. Hoffman's
them. Now,
got
Cook
runner.
is good. Cook is actually good.
I got 3 merchants. Are you kidding me? Good lord.
Man, you lucked out.
I'd happily trade one for something.
You know what that means? It means you can immediately take a mission that's going to give you a bonus officer, and then you can can do headquarters like quick.
Let's see.
The
Let's
first get the first tech out of the way, which would be triggers. You want them better torpedoes, man. That's key.
torpedoes. Let's move the T1s. Offload as many of these T2s.
Wait a minute. Oh, they're all level 1 triggers anyway.
Yeah, starting out early, it's gonna be.
The other thing about the T1s is they leave a bubble trail because they're steam powered.
Right.
You cannot fire them at warships. They will see it and stop or maneuver, and you'll never hit one with a T1. That's what the T2s are good for because they're electric and they can't detect them. And when you're at 3 or 4 cables away with a T2, they are dead meat.
Yeah.
You're gonna kill that destroyer. And that's what I do when I hit a convoy. I take out their escorts first if I can, and then it's just free lunch after that, you know.
Yeah.
until their war patrol shows up. Once they spit off that message, that coded message, that means you can expect help to be arriving pretty soon. I'd say an hour into the fight, you can expect more destroyers or MTBs to arrive, or aircraft if they're close to an airfield,
Yeah.
which is cool. I think it's so cool they put that in the AI. The AI is not a cakewalk anymore. They will sink your ass if they got enough numbers around you.
Let's do.
That 6 destroyers the other night, that was a bit much. That was good. That's good depth charge out the ass, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I had spent over an hour fixing the boat at the bottom. Real time.
I'm gonna leave that on. Let's see. I guess. I know what I need to check. I wonder. UBE had the tubes were a little funky. These are loaded. Okay. No, they're not. Okay. Glad I checked that. So that's gonna free up more room.
Yep. Go buy some more torps if you can afford them.
I bet the stern is the same way.
T2s are free.
Let's see. You're gonna go get me that discount. Have to wait on them to move.
You can go to your task, put both your mechanics on loading torpedoes, speed that process up. Since you're having to manually do it, you only got one guy doing it right now. You can put both of them on it. Since you're at port, you don't need an engine guy right now. The way you do that is you go into the task menu, go into the officer task menu, and blank out their lines and just put high numbers on the loading torpedo box, which is the red one. So like for your mechanic, just
I got you.
Yeah, it's the red or the black, whichever one. Loading torpedoes, yeah. Just change that number to a 9 or whatever, and then put 10s on the black torpedoes, and they'll load those some bitches. Both of them will.
There we go.
Yeah, once you get used to doing this, it makes complete sense. You just got to get used to doing it. And don't forget, if you want to add it back, you have to go back in there and put the number back.
Yeah, change that up.
Yeah, just remember to check your boxes before you head out. Make sure you got everybody set up the way you want. That's the way I do it.
Confused on those parts.
When they're at dock, you don't need them doing any damn thing,
Yeah, no reason for them to be.
Resting, partying, playing cards, and going on vacation. That's what we do at dock. you hit that time compression, you should see them doing it a bit quicker. If you want. Just let them work at their own pace. I don't know. I think they get some credit for doing this.
Probably a little bit of XP
At
or
the
something.
Yeah, I think it's just it's slight. It's only like a point or two, but it all adds up, you know.
Sure. That other.
Yeah, he's going to the back already. Give him another dude, he'll be faster.
Yeah, he's got one there. Now,
Oh, that's right. He can only do one right now. That's all right. You're right. I'm wrong.
I'm so used
no,
to them being able to do two guys that,
you got it right now. I think it's that UBE. I think like tightens up like the restrictions on what you can do. Like
Is that
now
what it
we're
was?
able to
Okay.
kick up the 2, but prior, yeah,
Okay.
we were screwed. We couldn't do. What the hell?
Yeah,
Was
that's
that
what
like that
doesn't
go?
make any sense. If you go into that
Oh, because
menu,
we're broke. That's why.
and the T2s are free. Take the T2s. You got 1, 2, 3 of them. I actually got a lot more of them. Wow. I never have this many.
Let's see. So those
There
will
you
get
go.
loaded. Everything else we're gonna have to wait out.
Now, when you come back, I think it'll populate them. I can't remember if it populates them with the same exact torpedo or if it upgrades them if you have upgrades. Like it'll give you a better torpedo. I'll have to pay attention to that next time. But I know that it seemed like in one playthrough that I was doing a couple patches ago, if I went to that port and I used all the T1s, it would replace them with T2s if I had that available. And if I took all the T2s, it would just repeat the process. But I guess it might have changed by this patch. I need to check that because I've been using that little island base a lot. I'm adding uh, submarine pins to that island base. It gave me that option to do that, so I'm doing that right now. It's going to take 30
Is there
days.
a reason?
That'll protect our submarines there at that island base.
Yeah.
It may actually change the approach to the island. You don't have to go through that little bay anymore. I'm hoping that's the case. I'll see when they get built. It may just place 3 pins right there where the dock is. It may be all there is to it. I don't know. We'll see.
I think, as much as I'd like to go out and start the patrol, I will probably wrap it up there tonight. So
Yeah,
we'll
I was
pick
thinking
this up
so.
tomorrow, and it'll be a fresh start. So I'm actually looking forward to that a little more. UBE was fun, but a little overwhelming for me, I think.
All right.
But yeah, and also I very much appreciate your help tonight. So good
Oh, you're
advice, and
welcome, dude.
appreciate it.
I don't mean to seem bossy. I just wanted to
No,
help you with that because it's not as hard as it. I thought the same thing about crew management when I first encountered it. I was like, this sucks and all this other stuff. But once I got used to it, I was like, I really enjoy that part of the game now.
yeah, I can tell I'm gonna like that once I get the few things ironed out. I'm gonna like that aspect of it. So
I
yeah,
mean, having guys available to do what you need done when you need done, it's huge. It helps a lot
for sure.
instead of just letting them try to run around and do their own thing. To me, I just always thought that was bad.
Yep,
But anyway, I enjoyed it, man. You have a good
appreciate it.
night.
Yeah, we'll talk to
All
you.
right.
Catch you later.
Okay, man.
Thank you, Cosmo. You as well. All you guys, have a good evening tonight. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for sure. It'll be a nice fresh start. Like I said, UBE is fun. I like it, how much it fleshes out and everything. But it's when you're trying to focus on the simple things like crew management and everything, I'm not a huge fan. It's a little much. But Jet, appreciate you again. riding side by side tonight, helping me out a bit. Cosmo, appreciate you dropping by. Manon was here for a little bit as well. But we'll be back tomorrow, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow. Later.